Nebraska.
News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KBNU.
KBNU News Time is 4:03. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by Logan Extermination. Mark your calendars for this Friday evening, May 3rd, as the public is invited to a night of student learning showcases, student performances, food trucks, and more as Hillcrest Elementary and their World Language Academy is holding their World Language Night Friday starting at 5 p.m., going until about 7:30 p.m. at Hillcrest Elementary School, located at 1475 East, 900 North in Logan. On KBNU's For the People program on Tuesday, Principal Jill Beard told us how this came about.
So it started before we were the World Language Academy. However, last year when we joined both the Portuguese program and the Spanish program, we decided that we wanted to make it bigger and better. Last year we started, and then this year we have just added two, where all of our students will be performing. We've got more food trucks coming. We've got student displays. We've also got the middle school and high school DLI programs coming to showcase some of their student work and helping with the activities that we have.
DLI stands for Dual Language Immersion Program. Beer said they will be honoring their first class of DLI students that have gone all the way through the Portuguese program from first grade, and they are seniors this year.
And then we'll do the same thing for the Spanish program next year. But we are actually going to have some of those Portuguese students in between the performances sharing with parents their experiences because the experiences that they've had and the growth that they have seen and the acquisition of another language has only expanded their horizons in what they have been able to do and what they'll be able to do in the future.
Student performance schedule on Friday will start with kindergarten and first grade at 5:30 p.m., second and third grade at 5:55 p.m., fourth and fifth grade at 6:20 p.m., and all the students together at 6:45. For more information, contact Jill at 435-755-2360, extension 3504. KBNU News Time is 4:05. KBNU weather for tonight. Mostly cloudy, 50% chance of rain showers tonight, low in the mid-30s, partly sunny, 30% chance of rain showers in the morning, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, high temperature in the upper 50s, and then sunny to partly cloudy and warming up into the low 70s with some south winds, 10 to 20 miles an hour to make sure it's warmer. And then more showers Saturday night into Sunday. 56 has been our high. It is 53 right now at KBNU. Sign up for Lawn Doctor's 2 Service Oil Enrichment Program. If you want greener, healthier grass this summer, sign up early and get the second service half off. 753-LAWN or go to lawndoctor.com.
Do you have a nasty weed problem? We have the right person for you. Sir, you work for Logan Extermination, don't you? Can you help these folks get rid of pesky dandelions?
Of course I can help. I am the Terminator. I will terminate those little yellow devils in your yard. Call me at Logan Extermination, 752-8450.
May special. Terminate your weeds and green up your lawn for only $45, based on maximum 5,000 square feet.
KBNU News Time is 4:06. The Utah Attorney General's office has filed a warrant seeking to have death row inmate Tabaran Honey executed. Honey, who was convicted and sentenced to die for the 1998 murder of Claudia Ben, has exhausted his appeals. Lawyers for the state wrote in a death warrant application filed in Cedar City's 5th District Court on Tuesday night. The U.S. Supreme Court last year refused to hear an appeal by Honey setting the stage for his execution. In a statement, the Utah Attorney General's office said Tabaran Honey was convicted of aggravated murder 25 years ago in the 5th District for killing and sexually assaulting his ex-girlfriend's mother. During sentencing, the judge remarked, "This is not a sentence that he gave to the defendant. This is a sentence that he has earned. If this isn't a death penalty case under the statutes of the state of Utah and in this community, I don't know what is, according to the statement. Attorneys representing Honey did not immediately respond to an email seeking comment. A judge has yet to schedule a hearing to sign the death warrant, which would set a date for an execution. And it's been 1 year since Maddie Heiner got the call that crews were searching the Weber River for her sister. On May 1st, 2023, officials responded to reports of a woman by the name of Libby Stimpson had fallen into the river and was swept away. Heiner said Libby was full of life, and she was witty, smart, kind, and she really just enjoyed the simple things in life. The community is still trying to help her family find closure. Heiner said there are people that walk that river every single day, and they keep their eyes open and are continually looking to see any sign of anything. After putting in a total of 4,000 hours of search time and finding nothing, the Weber County Sheriff's Office called off the search at the end of October, but the investigation is still open, according to Lieutenant Colby Ryan. He said they are going to reevaluate it this fall when the water recedes and kind of reevaluate how and what other technologies they can use. The Sheriff's Office brought in sophisticated equipment and had professionals research the water path, but they still could not find Libby, according to Lieutenant Ryan. KVNU News Time is 4:09. For more details on these and other stories, visit CashValleyDaily.com.
Local talk. Afternoons at 4 with For the People.
Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent with Alpine Home Medical. There's a story that came to us from a real customer, and I wanted to share it with you.
I'm a new CPAP user. The only thing I knew about CPAP when I walked in the door was that I didn't want to wear one. The introductory class with the respiratory therapist at Alpine was great. I left feeling confident and less intimidated by the whole process.
We love hearing about your experiences. Visit us online at alpinehomemedical.com.
I'm Jason Walton. In business, I mentor hundreds of Utahns as they pursue their American dream. The same dream career politicians treat with contempt. They send our money to our enemies abroad while shortchanging our veterans at home. It's not right. They're letting drug cartels escort criminals and terrorists across our border. It's time to stand up. So I'm running for the United States Senate. Stand with me. I'm Jason Walton, and I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Jason Walton for Senate.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU.
My name is Bruce Lee. I am here with my co-host Sid Roeder. We're here for another fun show.
This radio show is sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group, which is a group of professionals that has dedicated their time and efforts to provide information that is hopefully useful to seniors, their family members, caretakers, and really anybody who's interested.
Senior Moments, every Saturday morning at 7:30, right here on News Talk KVNU.
For the People.
We are waiting with bated breath for news from the Cash Republican Party meeting an executive committee tonight.
With Jason Williams.
And I'm really excited about this next segment. We have two guests here in studio. We're going to talk about something that we've talked about many times here on the show, but from a bit of a different angle.
Weekday afternoons from 4 till 6 on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102 FM.
Welcome to KVNU's For the People. It is Thursday, May 2nd. I'm Jason Williams, Bill Walter here in the studio. Joining us today to speak with Cache County Clerk Bryson Bem. He's calling us from a return trip to St. George for a county clerk conference that took place down there. We'll talk a little bit about that and also run through deadlines and such for the upcoming primary and the general election as well. Everything you need to know to vote in both the primary and general election. That's at 5 o'clock today. with new Cache County Clerk Bryson Bem, who's literally, he said, been drinking from the fire hose since selected by delegates to take over April 13th. And I would imagine. Also, Jamie Andrus, President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, Cache Chamber of Commerce, joining us later on in hour 2 as well to talk about their taking over the Summer Citizens Program. The Chamber will run that program here on out, and it does mean some changes, so we'll break some of those down in hour 2. Here in hour 1, it is Thursday. It is 4 o'clock. It's time for our weekly For the People Theater Hour with Charlie Schill here in the studio. Charlie, one of the busiest people in the Valley this time of year. No free weekends for you until, what, September at the earliest?
Actually, this weekend is going to be free.
That's right. You do have a break. Enjoy it.
Before it starts to really build up momentum.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, well, what I'll probably spend the day doing this weekend is yard work.
I was excited for spring, and now I've had
you're not excited.
Yeah, I've had enough
anymore.
weekends of yard work now that I'm like, grass is always greener, literally in this case, and I've had to mow a lot for it being May 2nd. We'll put it that way. But it is. I was thinking about the show today as I drove past what is now the Lionheart Theater there, and there was a whole crew there at the Lionheart Theater going in and out with boxes. I don't know why. I should have gone back and asked so that we had the information today. But, man, they're prepping for something there.
Well, they could be getting ready for, it's too early, actually. But
that's what I was thinking.
They're going to be doing a show called Daddy Longlegs by the Cache Theater Company starting on the 31st of May.
That's right.
And that's kind of an interesting story, actually. Daddy Longlegs was written more than 100 years ago, back in 1912.
Wow.
I
didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah, by a woman named Jean Wilson.
Okay.
Webster. No, pardon me. And it's been adapted numerous times. 2 years after her novel was published, she adapted it to the stage.
Okay.
And then in 1955, they turned it into a musical with Fred Astaire and Leslie Caron. It's a story about an orphan girl set in early 20th century New England.
Okay.
She gets a anonymous benefactor sends her to college.
Okay.
And later on,
so sort of like an older Annie kind of story.
Sort of,
okay.
Yeah. Later on, they meet and fall in love.
Which is necessary.
Which is necessary. It's kind of.
I didn't realize it was that old.
It's kind of a departure for CTC.
Yeah.
Because it's only a 2-person show.
And they usually do
big shows,
big large casts.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Things like Spamalot and Legally Blonde and Matilda.
But it is keeping with their theme lately of picking these
oddball little shows,
ones you haven't heard of for a long time or never before. That's I like where they're going. It's nice to have these types of things thrown in the mix.
Well, the show is going to be directed by Tanner Jackman, and he's spreading the wealth a little. The show only has 2 characters, but he's double cast both of them.
Okay.
The way it's set up, Megan Horsberg and Rachel Fillingham, both of whom we've seen before in shows here,
okay,
will be taking on the role of the orphan, whose name is Jerusalem. You don't find that name around very much.
Jerusalem. That's interesting.
And, Meade Hansen and Alec Finney will be trading off the role of the anonymous benefactor, Jervis Pendleton.
Okay.
It's an odd sort of story. The novel is just basically letters that were written back and forth by the two people.
Okay. That's interesting.
Which strikes me as an odd basis for a musical.
Yeah.
But Jackman says that it works, and he's got a cast of backstage people, like Celeste Bayo is doing the costumes.
Okay.
Her daughter Clara is designing the set. Jen Bowman is the music director for the show.
Okay.
And they're even going to have a small orchestra under the direction of Melissa Hamilton.
Okay.
So it should be interesting.
So that kind of offsets the small cast a little bit,
Yeah.
putting a little more work on the set and the background and the orchestra, and it's fun to have a live orchestra.
Yeah.
That's and so that starts May 31st.
Runs to June 8th.
I'm interested to see that. Tickets are on sale for that now. If someone's interested in picking some up, Cash Theater Company website. You can also visit the Lionheart Theater website. And I've linked to both on our Facebook page. The For the People Theater Hour with Charlie Schill underway here. You're welcome to join us, 753-5868. Always up for amateur reviews if you've seen something recently. But stick around. More to come right after this.
Hola, amigos. Cache Valley's Cinco de Mayo celebration is almost here. This year, we'll be celebrating Saturday, May 4th at the Cache County Fairgrounds. Join us for a day filled with music and nonstop fun for the whole family. Treat your taste buds with mouth-watering dishes from dozens of authentic vendors, serving up all your favorite Mexican delights. We've got a variety of fun activities for your little ones, from bounce houses to climbing walls and so much more. All are invited, so come experience the richness of the Hispanic culture. Thanks to our sponsors, Members First Credit Union, large enough to provide the services you need, small enough to provide the service you deserve. Gosner Foods, proudly serving the community for nearly 60 years with high-quality dairy products at their 10th West retail store. DD Auto Salvage, turn your scrap metal and junk vehicles into cash at DD Auto Salvage. Presto Products, apply for a career today at Presto Products in Lewiston. It's a celebration you won't want to miss. Cinco de Mayo, May 4th, starting at 12 noon at the Cache County Fairgrounds. Admission is free.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People Theater Hour with Charlie Schill here in the studio. 753-5868 if you'd like to join us. And we were talking about upcoming shows. Daddy Longlegs from the Cache Theater Company starting May 31st there at the Lionheart Theater. And that is tickets available for that now. But some information about the cast list there. And I know, listeners, if you want to read this, I know, Charlie, you had something, I think, just earlier in the week, or maybe it was last week, and we touched on it a bit last week on the show, but the cast of Pickleville announced their cast as well.
Yeah.
But we kind of covered that, did we, or did we not? I don't remember now.
No, we really didn't.
Okay. That was another cast announcement I remembered.
And Pickleville came out their their cast list as well. Their season starts on Friday, May 24th, with Welcome to Dangerville, which is their usual musical melodrama, original script, directed by Derek Davis. The cast has got quite a few people returning. J.C. Harris and Katja Roberts, who were in the cast of the show last year, are going to be returning. Jordan Todd Brown is coming back this season. Last year I think he was only back for The Play That Goes Wrong in the fall. He'll be working with the melodrama cast this year.
Okay.
He'll play the mayor of Dangerville.
I love that. Mayor of Dangerville.
Dingus, I think his name is.
I think that's his first name is Dingus.
Or last name.
Oh, that made me laugh.
Brown is amazing. He can do anything, and
very funny.
Most of the time, when he was paired off with Slater Ashenhurst, he always played the recurring role of Bo Big Guns Garrett.
Yeah.
And Ashenhurst was Jacques Javert, master criminal. But
I love some of the running themes in Pickleville's original stuff, their melodrama, because they have fun with it and kind of keep it from show to show, or at least keep the shows tied together in certain ways. I like that.
And of course, Nathan Kremen is also going to be back. He isn't leaving, folks.
Now, he's been with them a long time,
well,
right?
He married Kenzie Davis.
That's right.
So,
he's in the family.
Yeah, you betcha he's in the family.
Okay. Because he was, I know he was the Beast a couple of years ago in Beauty and the Beast.
That was before they got married. They took some time off in the fall to get married, and they've had a little girl.
Okay.
And he'll be in the cast of Welcome to Dangerville.
Okay. Part of the Outlaws team, it looks like.
Yeah. And then on June 18th, Pickleville is going to debut their version of Newsies.
Okay.
And again, this is going to be directed by Kenzie Davis.
Oh.
And the lead roles will be played by Sutton Kaler and Tori Adler, who are both newcomers to the theater.
Okay.
But Katja Roberts and J.C. Harris will also be there. Megan Horsberg. Now, here's an interesting one. She's going to be one of the girls playing Jerusalem.
Really?
In the Daddy Longlegs.
Okay.
And they'll get done with that show on the 8th of June, and then she's going to make a beeline for Garden City.
Wow. That's...
and she'll start working on
back to back.
Newsies. Yeah.
Wow. That is the very opening weekend of Newsies, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
that's a packed summer for her.
Another one, Stanton Allen, who's appeared in numerous productions here in town, including in the Music Theater West production of Newsies. He played Pulitzer.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to go over to Garden City and play Pulitzer again.
Oh, really?
For their Newsies. So he's making a career out of playing Pulitzer.
That's very cool. That is, And again, this speaks to something we've touched on before, the rotational, the bench that exists in Cache Valley.
The depth of the bench that exists in Cache Valley.
A lot of talent to pull from.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
That's they haven't exactly brought Pickleville into the alliance with which is
kind of funny, huh?
Which is CTC and Music Theater West and Four Seasons. But it's kind of working out that way.
Yeah. And Pickleville has earned it, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the things they've done with the holiday shows here.
The problem with Pickleville is they've got that canyon between them.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to communicate that way.
Which is great until, like, October.
Yes.
Well, sometimes September.
I've made that run
for a Pickleville show.
For a Pickleville show in bad weather.
Snowstorms.
I don't want to do it again, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it can be very unpleasant in the right weather.
Yes.
That is...
but, what can you do? You can't miss a Pickleville show.
No. And you have to... it's funny, I do this every year. I think, I'll see the melodrama, the original, because I've seen Newsies a million times, and then you see the melodrama and think, wow, these are pretty talented kids, and you end up back for
kids. That's right.
Tickets are on sale for these shows now, both the Welcome to Dangerville and Newsies, and the first show of them all is end of this month, May 24th at 7:30. They'll launch with Welcome to Dangerville. And then from there, first part of June, the second show begins. And get your tickets now. For those not familiar, Pickleville does still offer the dinner and a show package as well. Or you can just buy tickets straight up. And it is just weeks away. And that kind of kicks off everything. So For the People Theater Hour, again, here with Charlie Schill. You can read more about the Pickleville cast we just ran through in Charlie's story at CacheValleyDaily.com. And you're also welcome to join us, 753-5868, if you'd like to chime in on this or anything. We'll be back with more of Charlie Schill and the For the People Theater Hour right after this look at the news with KVNU's Bill Walter.
Thank you, Jason. KVNU News Time is 4:30, and the news is brought to you by U&I Furniture. Echoing similar events at the University of Utah, pro-Palestinian protests were organized on the USU campus in Logan on Wednesday. About 50 protesters, mainly students, gathered on the quad at the USU campus for a peaceful protest scheduled to take place over the next 3 days. The protest was organized by 4 students who formed the USU for Palestine Instagram page. Chris Carpenter, a co-organizer for the protest, said they wanted to show that there are people that care. There are people that care about the community and people that care about Palestinian Utahns. A series of speakers spoke at the event, including some who read the names of those who have died during the Israel-Hamas war. The small group then walked around the quad with signs and performed chants in hopes of getting their message to others. School officials have imposed a time, place, and manner restriction on structures and overnight events in the quad and plan to enforce that restriction. They said the student organizers reached out to the USU Public Safety Department and actively engaged in regards to school policies and their plans. Utah State President Elizabeth Cantwell shared a message Wednesday of support for free expression and its important role in the educational experience. Recently, Future Farmers of America members, 4-H teams, and school groups convened in Beaver County from across the state for the 2024 Utah Envirothon. And this year, the winning team came from Logan High School. The Logan team will now move on to the International NCF Envirothon competition in Geneva, New York, taking place from July 28th to August 3rd. Comprising the winning squad are senior Rachel Austin, junior Ivan Estrada, junior Lillian Rowe, senior Elise Dana, and senior Owen McDonald under the guidance of Coach Andrew Semadini, a science teacher at Logan High School. The statewide competition tests students' problem-solving skills, public speaking abilities, and environmental knowledge. South Summit High School secured second place overall, with third place awarded to Uinta High School. And a 21-year-old Utah woman has been arrested on suspicion of murder after a friend was shot in what police said was an uncompleted suicide pact. Heavenly Faith Garfield was arrested Tuesday and remained jailed on Wednesday without bail. Saratoga Springs police recommend she be charged with murder and discharge of a firearm in the shooting death of another 21-year-old woman. No charges have been filed. Garfield's family members and a friend of the victim say the women had reached a suicide pact several weeks ago. The victim's name has not been released. KBNU News Time is 4:33.
U&I Furniture has been located in the same downtown Logan location for 94 years. That doesn't happen unless you're doing some things right. For 94 years, U&I Furniture has been family-owned, family-operated, and family-supported. For 5 generations, they've been committed to taking care of customers, offering quality products at fair price. Lots of different brands and selections in chairs, mattresses, sofas, dining sets, bedroom furniture, floor coverings, appliances, and more. For 94 years, there's always a better buy at U&I Furniture, U&I in downtown Logan.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Affecting millions and a lot of commerce, a hot, fiery crash of a gasoline tanker and another truck and a car today, closing part of I-95 in Norwalk, Connecticut. Governor Ned Lamont.
The bridge was damaged. The heat from the burning fuel compromised some of the bridge, so that bridge is going to have to come down.
The crane will lift up the bridge and away overnight tonight, says the governor. A flood watch in effect for nearly 10 million Americans in southeast Texas and Louisiana today as torrential rain continues. A federal judge has sentenced a scuba dive boat captain to 4 years in custody and 3 years supervised release for criminal negligence after 34 people died in a fire aboard the boat off Santa Barbara, California in 2019. Governor Katie Hobbs signed the bill canning Arizona's near-total abortion ban from the Civil War era.
This ban needs to be repealed.
The repeal is expected to take effect later this year. This is ABC News.
KBNU weather for tonight, mostly cloudy, rain showers likely this evening, then a chance of rain showers after midnight, overnight low in the mid-30s, mostly cloudy, chance of rain showers in the morning, partly cloudy, slight chance of showers in the afternoon on Friday, high in the mid-50s. Sunny to partly cloudy Saturday and quite a bit warmer with some south winds stirring things up 10 to 20 miles an hour, high temperature in the low 70s. It's been to 56. It's 53 right now at KBNU. KBNU weather brought to you by the Duct Hunter. Don't get trapped by an air duct cleaner on social media. Call a company that you can trust, a local company. Call the Duct Hunter in Logan, 435-770-4813. You can always get more news at CashValleyDaily.com. Let's check Wall Street now with Edward Jones.
This is Tron Arnold of Edward Jones bringing you the Daily Financial Market Report for Thursday, May 2nd. Stocks finished higher today, finding some footing after a volatile day on Wednesday as markets attempted to digest the message from the Fed's latest policy meeting. With equities rising and interest rates falling, the tone today appears to be one of cautious optimism that the Fed won't overreact to recent firm inflation data by tightening monetary policy further. With the latest jobs report due out tomorrow, today's action likely suggests that there is some comfort being found in expectations for ongoing healthy employment conditions. Technology, consumer discretionary, and real estate, along with small caps, led the way today, reflecting a return of risk appetite and a more upbeat mood around the cyclical outlook. Gold and oil prices were a little changed, while global equities were mixed on the session. Equity markets closed higher, with the Dow up 322 points, closing at 38,222. The Nasdaq was up 235 points at 15,841, and the S&P closed up 46 points at 5,064. And in the bond market, the 10-year Treasury yields were trading at 5.58%. In stocks of local interest, Autoliv was up $1.37, closing at $121.80. Chevron was up $1.10, closing at $160.73. Dominion Energy was up a penny at $51.16. Home Depot was up $3.56 at $30.35.53. Kroger was up 32 cents at $55.09. Lowe's was up $2.06 at $229.58. McDonald's was down $1.15 at $273.28. Microsoft was up $2.90 at $397.84. Nucor was up $1.85 at $170.52. Philip Morris was up $1.26 at $97.31, and Walmart was up 86 cents at $59.71 a share. In commodity markets, the spot price of oil was flat at $79.03, and gold was up $2.80, closing at $2,313.80. This is Tron Arnold of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice at 135 North Main on Logan. If you want more information, feel free to give us a call at 435-753-2915.
Disasters don't wait for a convenient time. When the unexpected strikes, call the trusted team at Blue Sky. Remember, Blue Sky is that same great ARS team you know and trust.
This is Tom with Blue Sky Restoration. When disaster strikes, whether it's a flood, fire, mold damage, or an unforeseen accident, Blue Sky will clean up, repair, and restore your home or business like it was before. No disaster is too big or too small. For all your restoration needs, you can trust our Blue Sky team.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People Theater Hour with Charlie Schill here in the studio. Again, joining us in Hour 2, we'll kick things off with new Cache County Clerk Bryson Bem, joining us right at 5:10 to run through how they've been quickly getting up to speed with the primary underway, June 25th primary date coming up soon, and Bryson having first been put in office by delegates in Cache County GOP Convention April 13th. Rush time frame here, but Bryson says they're ready to go. We'll talk about how they've gotten ready to go and also the deadlines, everything you need to know for both the primary and the upcoming general election. So Bryson Bem joining us, and then after that, Jamie Andrus, President and CEO of the Cache Chamber of Commerce, will join us in Hour 2 as well to talk about some changes you can expect with the Summer Citizens Program as the Cache Chamber takes over running that program. So that's coming up in Hour 2 right now. We are talking arts, entertainment, theater, and more with Charlie Schill. 753-5868 if you'd like to join us. And, okay, we did Pickleville. We did Daddy Longlegs at Lionheart Theater. And where does that leave us?
We ought to talk about the Valley Dance Ensemble. They did their annual production last Friday and Saturday night at the Eccles Theater.
That's right. They had the youth Friday night.
They had the youth performance on Friday night, and Saturday night the adults came in to perform. Cool. I got to admit, I was floored by their performance. It it was really very, very impressive.
That's nice to hear.
It's a funny thing. I'm really having problems here.
I know where you're going when it comes to the dance ensemble.
Well, Caitlin Jennings, the director of the dance ensemble, says that we're the dance equivalent of community theater.
Sure.
Semi-pro choreographers, amateur dancers.
Yeah. At it for a long time.
But I think she's selling herself short on that one.
Really?
Yeah, they were really, really very polished and professional.
That is.
It's modern dance is an odd thing, you know. It's
Yeah.
it's designed to be expressive. It developed in the early 20th century.
And it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, and you know, we're used to ballet, and you know the Cash Civic Ballet is a wonderful organization.
Yeah.
But modern dance is the polar opposite of ballet. You know, it's free form and stylized movement and that kind of thing to try to convey a message. Ballet is all structured formats, moving from one to the other.
Sure. That's a good point.
The thing though is, you know, the dancers that I saw, I went to a rehearsal on Thursday night.
How do you get into the rehearsals?
In age range, they went from 19 years old, and she was gorgeous, to 45 years old.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's dedication at 45 to be dancing like that, and it was really impressive. You know,
that would be
some of the routines they performed were not my cup of tea. You
Sure.
know, I kind of sat there and said, I don't know. Yeah. The only thing I had to compare it to was the Odyssey Dance Theater.
Yeah.
When they used to perform. Now, Odyssey Dance, to a large extent, their style was hip hop.
Yeah.
Very, very modern and jazzy.
Yeah.
This isn't that way at all. It's very free flowing and
that's interesting. I've never thought about that, but your example there of the difference between ballet and this type of dance, because ballet is very structured and scripted almost. You know, like you're.
Oh, of course.
And this is a little more open to. Each show could be different very much.
An interpretation, yeah.
That's. I've always struggled with this, but I also, you know, ballet isn't even my cup of tea. But I've always been, when I have sat down for ballet, I've always been impressed by these are athletes. This is, it requires a level of athleticism that requires training, just like the football players on USU's college football team go through, to the flexibility, the stamina required.
But the thing is, what Valley Dance was doing doesn't require the same strength.
Okay.
Perhaps, you know, but to achieve the level of flexibility for all the movements that they do, that takes a great deal of work.
Yeah.
And it shows.
I couldn't do it. I know that.
Well, no.
I've seen some of these, especially the local youth ensemble. I've seen some video of their rehearsals and things like that, and I would be in the hospital. They would be casting me up in so many places. Yeah, so I mean, it really is an impressive skill to have. That is. Do they plan to do these more regularly? Have you heard any rumors of that?
They only do it once a year.
It's going to stay once a year. Okay. That. One to put a pin in for next year, possibly. And, Wendy's great to always find places to sneak stuff like that in to the Eccles where possible. And for Wendy right now, this is there's a little bit of a pause that's been going on for them as they ramp up for the big Napoleon Dynamite event.
Yeah.
That is May 8th, by the way. And if you want tickets to that, it's there are tickets available still, but if you want to sit together as a group, you're going to want to get them. I would get them today because they are going pretty fast. That is By the way, for listeners who missed it, we did speak with Wendy and Gavin about this Napoleon Dynamite 20th anniversary celebration, and it's planned as kind of a day-long event in a way. The show will begin that night, May 8th at
7:30.
Oh, that's right, 7:30. But earlier in the day, there are some tours that are going to be taking place to go up through Preston, even to the high school there, and other places where the film was actually filmed. And, oh, wow, I was wrong. I looked this morning, and it's changed since this morning. They are now listing this as sold out. Napoleon Dynamite 20th anniversary celebration at the Eccles on a week from yesterday, May 8th, is sold out. Wow.
Okay, good.
That is, never mind. Yeah, you can't get tickets to that.
You
might be able to win some.
You know what? I watched Napoleon Dynamite last Saturday night.
Did you?
And
not your.
I still don't get it.
You don't get it. That is. I think I told this story already. I have an uncle that the closest comparison I could make that people would recognize is Clint Eastwood. His life. He grew up in a family. They don't do it anymore, but they used to trap in Morgan. He knows everything there is about hunting, and also a good chunk of veterinarian science. So he's on both ends of that spectrum, both the killing side and the saving side. He is an outdoorsman. He hikes. He's 70-something years old right now. He still hikes several miles a week. He just loves being out in the mountains. And he blew me away a couple of weeks ago when he announced that Napoleon Dynamite was one of his favorite movies. And my only response, I said, why? I wanted to know what it was about this movie that he liked. He couldn't explain it, but yeah, he didn't know. But I was so surprised. This is a person that I never would have. I mean, this is a person who has John Wayne movies memorized and can recite them. He knows the words to that Tumbleweeds song, one of the earliest country songs ever. And yet here he is. He could quote from Napoleon Dynamite. He said, every time I catch that on, I end up watching it. It just makes me laugh. But so, yeah, different strokes for different folks. And unfortunately, if you wanted to be a part of that, this morning there were some seats left in the balcony and the very back of the mezzanine. They're gone. The event officially sold out.
There's something about this nostalgia craze we've got going on. The tribute bands, the
interesting, isn't it?
Simon and Garfunkel, all these other things.
Yeah. And I know Wendy and crew with those tribute bands have had really good luck.
Really good luck.
Yeah, because those shows have
pretty near sold out.
Yeah, as close as the Eccles usually comes to selling out. And speaking of the Eccles, tomorrow night, Sean Johnson's stand-up comedy tour is tickets still available for that. I don't know the guy. I know this is not a local comedian. This is someone on a national tour. But I know Wendy and crew have tried to keep these in the PG-13 arena for stand-up comedy. I don't know. People have asked.
This is the same Johnson from the Johnson Files on YouTube, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is, actually. That I recognize his face now. Yeah, but it's just him, it looks like.
He left the wife home.
So, yeah, she's taking a break. Recording or filming their video podcast while he tours. Yeah, it is just him. So that style of comedy for those familiar with that program. And that is tomorrow night at the Eccles. Some tickets still available for that. And then things really get rolling. We'll talk about exactly what's coming next. On the other side, this is the For the People Theater Hour with Charlie Schill. Stick around. We'll be back right after this.
Hola, amigos. Cache Valley's Cinco de Mayo celebration is almost here. This year, we'll be celebrating Saturday, May 4th at the Cache County Fairgrounds. Join us for a day filled with music and nonstop fun for the whole family. Treat your taste buds with mouth-watering dishes from dozens of authentic vendors, serving up all your favorite Mexican delights. We've got a variety of fun activities for your little ones, from bounce houses to climbing walls and so much more. All are invited, so come experience the richness of the Hispanic culture. Thanks to our sponsors, Members First Credit Union, large enough to provide the services you need, small enough to provide the service you deserve. Gosner Foods, proudly serving the community for nearly 60 years with high-quality dairy products at their 10th West retail store. DD Auto Salvage, turn your scrap metal and junk vehicles into cash at DD Auto Salvage. Presto Products. Apply for a career today at Presto Products in Lewiston. It's a celebration you won't want to miss. Cinco de Mayo, May 4th, starting at 12 noon at the Cache County Fairgrounds. Admission is free.
On the next Handle on the Law.
A judge may say it's reasonable. That's why.
Why would it be reasonable?
Because a judge may say that's reasonable. Hey, do I look like the bank machine maven here? How many of those do you think I fix?
I met you before, and you look brilliant.
Oh, well, I thank you for that. And that wasn't real smart on your part.
It's Handle on the Law, Saturdays from 1 to 4 on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
The VIP tickets sold out at the Eccles for the Napoleon Dynamite show next week as well. That was the one where they take you on the tour up through Preston. You get to meet, I know Pedro, the guy who plays Pedro in the movie is going to be there. And I think one of the main filmmakers / lead roles was going to be there. I know they said Uncle Rico wasn't going to make it. But... that sold out too. So both the Napoleon Dynamite 20th anniversary show Wednesday evening, May 8th, is sold out, and the earlier in the day VIP tour and ticket package.
I wonder whatever happened to Uncle Rico's van that he drove. It was seen around Preston for quite a few years, but I haven't heard anything about it lately. I haven't either. I wonder if someone will break that back out for the event next Wednesday. Speaking of dance really quick, too, for those interested, where Charlie and I were talking about there for a bit, something Wendy has added to the Eccles calendar recently, the Dance Source, local youth dance company, they're doing their spring concert. So the Dance Source is doing Wondrous Journeys, and tickets for that will go on sale. That will play May 8th. Tickets went on sale April 29th, or May 11th, sorry. And then after that, it's pretty quiet at the Eccles until September. So with that Music Theater West, Something Rotten kicking off their fall season and the rest of the touring season. So, all right, there's your Eccles calendar rundown. And what haven't we got to?
Well, it's May. That's the anniversary of John Wayne's birthday. Yeah. And as we mentioned last week in passing, the Utah Theater is doing a John Wayne Film Festival.
All of them.
Well,
I saw that. I'm like, some of the not lesser knowns doesn't even describe it. They're doing some of the bad ones, but they're fun to see.
You missed Blood Alley last night, which is actually a pretty good movie.
I like that one. A lesser known, but a good one.
Now tonight they're going to do The Conqueror, which is the infamous John Wayne movie.
Yeah.
Directed by Dick Powell, produced by Howard Hughes.
That's interesting.
With a little bit of racy stuff.
Yeah.
And
it was scandalous at the time, right?
Yeah, and it was a
banned
dog.
from theaters.
And it was a dog.
Yeah.
But the critics hated it, but it still came out in the 11th top grossing movie of 1956. So,
I would say the filmmakers were okay with where things landed, but it was panned by critics.
Oh, yeah.
And then the scandal around it, too. Can you believe they did this?
Well, and think about also, they sat there and watched nuclear tests going on down in St. George, and everybody who was in the movie died of cancer.
Yeah.
Including John Wayne.
Yeah, it was literally, they were temporary downwinders, but they're long enough.
Yeah.
Sad story.
Which lets you know how badly the situation must be for real downwinders.
Yeah. It's and a lot of the tribes down there in that southeastern corner are still dealing with some of that. If you look at the healthcare numbers,
well, yeah,
sad thing. But and the excuse is we didn't know any better. But I think some people did.
Well, let's see. On May 13th, they're going to do Donovan's Reef, which is one of the comedies.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah. And then they're going to get into rerunning shows that they've done previously. Rio Bravo will be one of the the famous westerns with Dean Martin and Ricky Nelson and Ward Bond and Angie Dickinson and Walter Brennan.
It's a classic.
Yeah. Followed that on, May 17th and Saturday, May 18th, The Searchers, which was John Wayne's favorite movie. We've always said that.
Yeah.
And it's in a movie, it's, a deal where he plays kind of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
And the question is, when he finally finds Natalie Wood, is he going to kill her?
That's what he's been paid to do, right?
Well, that's what he's just a hard-bitten guy. It's a great movie.
That's one of my favorites of his. I've heard people call it dark. But
it is dark.
It is for him, especially if you contrast it with the other films in his catalog. It is one of the darker ones, but it's a great story.
Yeah. And then we get into some not so hots like North to Alaska on Monday, May 20th, which was a romantic comedy, and God only knows what John Wayne was doing in it. But
I've always wondered if that wouldn't have been a better received movie with someone else
in it. Yes, probably.
He is so clunky in that, and I thought the story was actually kind of cool, but.
On May 22nd, you got Stagecoach, which is the movie that made him a star.
Yeah.
Later on in the month, you got The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Also a good one.
And, Red River on Wayne's birthday. They'll have a free movie of Red River. That's on Monday, May 27th.
Oh, wow.
And that's a good one.
That's another classic. If you've never seen that one, I think that is the top of my favorites.
It's a Howard Hawks movie.
Yeah.
It has typical Howard Hawks female heroines in it.
Yeah. So cinematic.
Yeah.
And
again, it's a tough role for Wayne.
Yeah.
Because he's playing a badass.
Yeah. One of the few times he had to act. Had to actually act in that one.
Yep.
All right. The John Wayne Festival continues throughout the month of May at the Utah Theater. Their website has a full schedule and more. And be with us next week. Charlie will be back next Thursday at 4 for another For the People Theater Hour. Coming up, Hour 2 will kick things off with Cache County Clerk Bryson Bem right after this here.